Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. Chapter 12. One wall in Alden's office was a large curved window overlooking a silvery lake. A floor-to-ceiling aquarium wrapped the rest of the room. Sophie waited in an enormous wingback chair facing Alden, who sat behind a desk piled with books and scrolls. Anxiety tightened her chest as the walls of water seemed to close in. Sophie sucked in a breath to remind herself she wasn't drowning and pointed to the stacks of human newspaper piled next to her chair. Articles were circled in red and then crossed out. "Keeping up with the news?" "Looking for you." He removed another newspaper from a drawer and handed her the article with a picture circled. "You don't know who sent this to you?" she asked. "I have a few theories. No reason to worry." "You keep saying that." A hint of irritation crept into her tone. "Because it's true." She sighed. "Well, if you figure it out, maybe you can find out how the reporter knew about me. My parents were super upset about it." Her heart stuttered as Alden's face fell. "I think I know what you're going to say," she said as he opened his mouth to speak. She needed to say it first. That would be the only way to survive it. "You're going to tell me I'm not related to my family." She felt a pull in her chest as the words floated away, like they were taking part of her with them. "Yes, I was planning to discuss that." A shadow passed over his features. "But what we really need to talk about is why you can't live with them anymore." The words swam inside her head, refusing to make sense. Alden moved to her side, leaning against the chair as he took her hand. "I'm so sorry, Sophie. We've never faced anything like this, and there's no perfect solution. You can't hide your abilities forever, especially as they get stronger. Sooner or later, someone will suspect that you're something other, and we can't allow that to happen for your safety and ours. Now that the council knows you exist, they've ordered that you move here, effective immediately." She felt the blood drain from her face as his words sank in. "Oh." The too simple word couldn't communicate what she felt, but she couldn't come up with anything better. Part of her refused with anything better. Part of her refused to believe him, refused to accept the impossible things he was saying. The same part of her wanted to kick and scream and cry until he took her home to her family. But a tiny voice of reason wouldn't let her. Deep, deep down, beneath the fear and hurt and pain, she knew he was right. She'd lived every day since she was 5 in constant fear of discovery. She wasn't sure how much longer she could keep it up. The headaches from her telepathy were almost unbearable, and if they were going to get stronger, not to mention the loneliness. She'd never felt right with her family. She'd never had any friends. She didn't belong in the human world, and she was tired of pretending she did. But knowing he was right didn't make it hurt any less. Didn't make it any less terrifying. "Will I get to visit my family?" she asked, grasping for something to calm the fear threatening to overwhelm her. Alden didn't look at her as he shook his head. "I'm sorry. I'm afraid that would be impossible. We call the areas where humans live the Forbidden Cities for a reason. Access is severely restricted. Plus, they're going to think you're dead." She was on her feet without deciding to stand up. "You're going to kill me off?" "As far as your human family and rest of the humans are concerned, yes." For a moment, she was too stunned to speak, her mind filled with creepy images of gravestones reading, "Here lies Sophie Foster." But one image was even worse. She closed her eyes, desperate to block out the horrifying mental picture, but it only became more vivid, her parents hovering over her grave with tear-stained faces. "You can't do that to my parents," she whispered, bringing back tears of her own. "We have to. If you disappeared, they would never stop trying to find you. It would draw too much attention to everything." "But don't you know what this will do to them?" "I wish there were another way." She refused to accept that. Elves could travel on a beam of light and read emotions and probe minds. There had to be a way. Her family wouldn't suffer. A sickening idea struck her. "Could you make them forget me? Make it like I never existed?" Alden bit his lip. "It's more complicated, but it can be done." "But would that really be better? They'd be relocated. They'd lose their jobs, their house, all their friends. That's better than thinking their daughter is dead." Her words seemed to hit him, and he turned away, staring deep into the aquarium. "What about you?" he said after a stretch of silence. These are people you love, Sophie. If we raise you, they won't miss you. They won't even know you exist. Wouldn't that be too painful?" A single tear slipped down her cheek. "Yes, but only for me. For them." She squared her shoulders and set her jaw. "It's the best thing for them." Seconds passed before Alden turned to her, obvious pain in his eyes. "If that's what you want, we'll do it that way." "Thank you," she whispered, hardly believing that she was saying. It felt like her brain was shutting down, too overwhelmed to function. Had she really agreed to have her whole life erased? She sank back into the massive armchair. Tears streaked down her cheeks and she scrubbed them away. "Will I get to say goodbye?" Alden shook his head. "The council specifically forbade me to take you back." The room spun and a small sob slipped out. It never occurred to her when she left for school that it would be the last time she'd see her family ever. It was too much. "Please, I need to say goodbye." Alden studied her face for a long minute before he nodded. "I can't take you without risking a tribunal, but I can give you 20 minutes before I alert the council to the change of plans and let Fitz take you. You'll have to change clothes before you go, and get out of there before anyone sees you, or it would be very bad for him. Can you do that?" She nodded, wiping away more tears. "Thank you." Alden rushed to the door and called Fitz. Sophie couldn't focus as Alden explained what was happening. She was too busy trying to figure out what she would say to her parents. How was she going to tell her family goodbye?